Welcome back to Rifleman 2.0, and today I have a bizarre one for you. None other than the Taurus Judge. Check it out with me. So we have the much hated and the much beloved Taurus Judge here. One of the most bizarre revolvers you're going to find out there on the market. Arguably, is this the ideal self-defense weapon in this configuration? Maybe, I guess it could be. Taurus is kind of hit or miss when it comes down to their production quality. I've never had problems with Taurus revolvers. Their pistols, they kind of leave something to be desired, but we're not talking about them. So let's dig into the Judge real quick. Now, before we dig into the nitty-gritty of it, you're going to notice the telltale feature of the Judge is that elongated cylinder there, and that is to facilitate 45 Colt and 410 shot shells. Yes, you heard me right. This thing will handle both regular conventional pistol rounds and shot shells. Now, I remember back in 2006, yes, I'm that old, when the Taurus Judge came out, I remember seeing this thing in an ad and I said, what the heck is this? So I started watching some ads for it and I thought, well, that looks cool, but is it going to be practical? And then I saw some of the videos that Taurus put out for self-defense application. I said, okay, maybe that is really cool, and it's a good option. You can stagger 45 Colt and 410 shot shells in there. So there's a lot of potential to be had there. Let's see if it lives up to the hype. Now, very simple. The Judge has these cutout notch sights. They're very, very simple. And it does have these drift adjustable front sights. This one's illuminated, but you can't get the ones with the solid blade. So sighting it's pretty darn easy. And like all modern revolvers, it is of course a double single. So it is obviously not loaded for me to do the demo here. So you can do it in the single action and you can do it in the double action. That double action is very heavy, but the single action is actually pretty darn decent. It's got that wide flat trigger on there, so you can just boom, get your finger right on there, no problems. And when it comes to the cylinder, it swings out. All you do is push it forward just like a Smith & Wesson. You got 5 shots in the cylinder there. Pops right back into place, locks up nice and tidy. It's a fairly robust gun. So let's talk about what makes this thing special. The Taurus Judge, like I mentioned before, it will fire 45 Colt and 410. You can get them in different models. Some of them do 454 Casull and so on and so forth, but this particular one, it's one of the older ones with the snubby on there. It'll do the 45 and the 410. Now, you can get them in the elongated barrels, and you can also get the carbine version of it, which we're going to do that one later, which I absolutely love, called the Circuit Judge. That one, I don't even want to get started on that one because there's a lot to that one. But let's talk about the Judge here. So like I mentioned, it will handle 45 Colt. It will handle 410 shot shells. Let's get it loaded up. So for today's firing test, we're going to do 5 and 15 yards with 4, count them, 4 different types of ammunition. Obviously, we're going to be doing the 200 grain 45 Colts, 7.5 shot shells, number 4 shot shells, and triple-aught buck. This should get interesting. So here at 5 yards, I'm going to load it up with 5 rounds of 45 Colt, and with that kick-out cylinder, it's about as easy as it gets, just like any other revolver. And we're going to see just what kind of accuracy we can expect. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. With the first 3, I'm going to do it in the single action, and then with the last 2, I will do it in the double action, because I know that double action is super heavy and it's probably going to cause some disruptions. So I think that's an easy way to space it out without blowing all my ammo. All right, let's get started here. That's the first 3, and now the double action. A lot smoother than I expected. And there's 5 quick shots at 5 yards. Not bad. Definitely minute a man. Would I call it the most accurate? No. But what really surprised me was the double action. Despite the fact that it's super heavy, very smooth. Shot very easily. So I'm not complaining. Now, for the sake of brevity, I'm going to fire the next 3 shot shells, just going to be 1 shell each at 5 yards. And this will chamber up to 3 inches but commonly, Taurus actually, they found a way to do it. They got all the ammunition companies to go along with them. They made 2.5-inch handgun designated shot shells, so it's really cool. So the first shot is going to be the 7.5. The second shot is going to be the number 4, and the third shot is going to be the triple-aught buck. Now it does rotate counterclockwise, so it's pretty easy to set them up. Let's check it out. Now shot cam's going to be important on this one, so pay attention. First shot's going to be 7.5. Oh, considerably more boot than that 45 Colt with that long 3-inch shell. All right, now the number 4. Oh, it didn't like that one bit. Not one bit. All right, so we had a catastrophic failure here. Do not put 3-inch shells in this. It did not like it. I'm gonna show you this. You can see barely, if you look in there, total case separation. You see the green in there? It blew the whole darn thing apart. That's not good. Okay, no 3-inch shells, no matter how light. That was only 7.5 shot, and check this out. Total case detonation. It blew half the case out. Unbelievable. So let's move on to the number 4 and the triple-aught. Holy cow, I can't believe that happened. Yeah, this will not double off with regular 410 shells. Don't do it. Bad idea. All right, number 4 on target. See, that was a lot more controllable. That 7.5, you'll see it in the video, it just blasted way back because it was just way overcharged for this gun. But that number 4 and the 410 handgun, yeah, very, very manageable. I got no complaints there. All right, let's move on to the triple-aught. All right, ready for the triple-aught. And again, it's very manageable. Yeah, okay, those 2.5 410 handgun shells, they worked out great. It's almost like they're made to be shot out of a handgun. They're not full shot shells. Let's check the target. Alrighty, at 5 yards, shot cam is gonna tell the whole story, but obviously you can tell the difference between a number 7 shot, number 4 shot, and those massive triple-aught buck. So when you look at the shot cam, it'll show you where all the spread was. The Catastrophic 7.5 went all over the place. The number 4 held a pretty good group all around on the target here. And then the triple-aught, it all centralized right here. It grouped up very nicely. I got no complaints. Okay, we are gonna sideline the 7.5 because obviously I'm not blowing my hand off. So we're just gonna have to settle with 45 Colts, some number 4 handgun loads, and those triple-aughts. Let's bump it to the 15. All right, we are at 15 yards and we are back to the 45 Colts. So I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna do 2 single action, and then we're gonna do the last 3 are gonna be double action. And mostly because that double action kind of impressed me a little bit. So let's get it going at 15 yards. Where the heck did that go? Did it go in the same hole?
I think so.
All right, double action for the last 3. I pulled that one, that's me. All right, let's check it out. That was the other shot, the first double action. That's the one I pulled, and then that one. So let's redo that so we can have a better look. All right, let's do 5 more at 15 just for good measure. All right, let's have a look. And 5 more at 15 yards with that double action. Nominally, not bad. Am I really complaining about it? Give it what it is? Yeah, not really. Actually held out pretty decent, so. All right, that's a point for the, well, I'll give it a half a point for the Taurus. All right, it's gonna be the same deal here, 15 yards. We're gonna be doing first the number 4, and then we're gonna follow up with the buckshot. Uh-oh, check it out. Well, the number 4s, everything seemed like it tended left, but from what I can tell, I mean, you can see the number 7s and the number 4s, but those could be leftovers. But almost nothing made it on target. And the same with the triple-aught buckshot, they all went steadily to the left. So there's 1, there's 2, and maybe 3. Not that great. Okay, so this is where the rubber meets the road. The gun has limitations. Plain and simple, it does. And that was to be expected. So to accommodate for the 410s, you can only assume that the bore is going to be a little bit looser. So as we saw with the accuracy down there, it's not a target gun. It's not made for range. The 45 Colts are going to go minute a man, we'll say. But you're not going to be winning any contest with this thing. And the same with the shot shells. With it being rifled inside the barrel, they're spiraling out and they're going to go pretty much any direction that they want to go. So is it ideal for taking out in the woods and hunting? I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't take a shot at a deer with this, no way. So what's it good for? Well, one, show off to your buddies. Yeah, check out, I got a Taurus Judge. Super cool, right? Or, more realistically, for its intended purpose, self-defense. Let's see how she does. So now we're going to check out some self-defense prep loads for this thing, which means I'm going to be staggering that 45 Colt with some of those shot shells. So it's going to be 45 Colt, shot shell, 45 Colt, shot shell, etc., etc. Ideally, what you would use for self-defense, whether you're in your car, maybe in the home, or just carrying on your person, kind of hefty. I don't know if I'd want to carry this thing, but hey, some people would get down like that, I guess. But we're going to be at a reasonable distance, so approximately 5 yards, and FBI statistics say it's within 21 feet, 7 yards is when most assaults happen, so 5 yards is well within that distance. We're going to see how this thing does on target, practically, and how fast you can deploy it. All right, so 5 yards, approximate self-defense distance. We're going to lead with that 45 Colt, and we're going to follow with a number 4 shell, and we're going to do rapid deployment. So if anybody does any research on self-defense situations, it's not long, drawn out, square up, take aim. No, it's going to be quick shots. So we're going to take 2 fast shots, first with the Colt, and then follow up with that shot shell, and then we're going to see how it patterns up on that target. That's pretty solid. Minute a man and not bad. Pulled down to the right and peppered it up pretty good. Let's see how the triple-aught does. All right, not bad. Not bad at all. So number 4 is not really that impressive, unless you had to defend yourself from like a bunny or something. So let's go a little bit more deliberate. Let's bump it up to that 45 Colt and that triple-aught buckshot. Rapid deployment. Here we go. Hot dog! And we got a winner. So we had that 45 Colt hit, and then wham! Triple-aught buck. Just punishing. That's fantastic. All right, so we figured it out, didn't we? Fantastic for self-defense. That's the carved out niche for this thing. That wide, flat trigger that you can just, boom, grab onto. That nice, smooth double action, which came in handy big time when taking those rapid defensive shots at 5 yards. And the overwhelming power that comes out from that 45 Colt and that triple-aught. Yeah, if you got a carjacker, you got something stupid that comes into your house trying to take your silverware or whatever, he's only leaving one way, and that's it. Fantastic self-defense weapon, something that you could easily stow in an accessible place and it'll do the job. It's compact enough where it's comfortable, where it's balanced enough, more or less. Not bad, Taurus, not bad. So now we know the limitations, now we know the strengths of this thing. I'm gonna set up some fun targets down there. I'm gonna stagger out different loads in there and we'll see what they do. Dr. Milk Jug, Professor Shaving Cream, and the Swinger Henchman are down there. They're going to be at a practical 7 yards attack distance. They just came out of the woodwork and they're trying to take my pocket full of spent shells. Let's see how the Taurus Judge matches up. I'm going to be loaded up with 345 Colt, 1 number 4, and 1 of those triple op bucks. I'd say it does the job. Well, well, well. At 7 yards, the Taurus Judge delivers. Hit this guy twice, this one once. Oh no. Dr. Milk Jug. Professor Shaving Cream, you gone. Alrighty, so that's it for the Taurus Judge. All in all, I'll give it like a C+, and that's just because it's obviously got its limitations, but it's also got its purpose. Got really notable strengths. So you know what? I'll give it a B-. How about that? At 7 yards, you saw it right there. Fast double action aimed shots. What is realistically a multiple subject self-defense situation, Taurus Judge delivers. It works. Now, before we cut it off, I'm just gonna let you guys know, just because it fits doesn't mean you should put it in there. Nope, there's still limitations. I had a lot of fun, guys. Hope you did too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you on the next one.